Hey, it's Vaz here from Aussie Playground and welcome to another unboxing. Today is a very special day because I have here in the studio the Kraton 6S V4. I am super pumped to have this car because they've actually done quite a number of changes to this vehicle. And this is my fourth Kraton, technically my fifth if you count the one that I gave away last year or a year and a half ago. So this is my fourth one that I'm actually having here. So I've had them all from V1 to V4. I'm super pumped about this one because they've done so much, and the body's changed, the tires are different. There's also some stuff inside that they've changed a little bit on. I think a lot of people are going to be pretty happy with that. And of course, you know, it's still the same old Kraton that we've all loved. Big, high ground clearance, big tires, capable of some awesome jumps, 60 miles an hour. Of course, now it comes with a Spectrum radio, and if you've seen my Typhon unboxing, you know exactly how I feel about that, but we'll go through that in a little bit more detail as we unbox this guy. It is also available in a red color, which is awesome to have two color options with the Kraton. I think the Kraton's had two color options pretty much ever since the V1. So to have a blue and a red now, I think it's fantastic. They've sort of done away with the green, gone with the blue. It looks awesome. Let's have a better look at it because that is what we are here to see. So here is the car itself. Of course, I picked up the blue one, which looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really loving the new body on this. I'm going to show you up close what this is all going to look like very, very shortly. But let's take a look at the bag of goodies. Some additional body posts they give you here. This is fantastic. Eventually people will change out the body and have some additional posts to be able to adjust the height. I think that's a really good thing, so good on ARRMA for providing those. The optional high-speed pinion is a 15 tooth. This will get you to the claimed 60 miles an hour, hopefully, and I'll be testing that out, of course, as I always do. Toolkit, great little toolkit. It has some Allen keys, cross wrenches. It allows you to take the wheels on and off. You can pretty much service the entire car with these tools. However, as I said in the Typhon unboxing of the V4, just be mindful that some of the screws that require a little bit more torque, I would recommend getting better tools, because those ones there you can potentially strip them out or even strip out the screws. So little speed chart, again, just like they've provided many times in the past. This will kind of give you a bit of a guide as to what speed you'd expect with the gear ratios provided and where you should be running the car and all that sort of thing. And then of course they give you battery sizes, battery recommendations, all of that is there. They also give you a bind plug for your radio should you need it. The radio should be pre-bound to the receiver in the car, but if you happen to need it, well, they're giving you one. The manual, as with all the other manuals from ARRMA, fairly comprehensive. This is basically a carbon copy of you know, the one that came with the Typhon, the V4 Typhon, and it's got all the part numbers for all the cars on here. It's also written in a couple of languages, so that's why it's quite thick. Yeah, it's got everything that you need to be able to work on the car, maintain it, all the part numbers in there, all that sort of thing. I think that's a really good user manual, and you know, they've been doing it for a long time, so it should be. The STX2 radio. I'm not going to rant about this one on this video, just like I did in the Typhon unboxing. I think once is enough. Good features with this radio. You got reverse switches for your throttle and your steering in case you need it. Throttle trim, steering dual rate, and you also have throttle dual rate. You've also got a preset throttle limiter switch, which goes to 50, 75, and 100%. So really cool features on this radio. 4 AA's as per standard. No collapsible antennas to break off. The only thing I don't like about it is that it has a fairly cheap feel to it. The throttle trigger feels really light. The handle feels a little bit thin for my liking. But hopefully, I mean, I haven't used these radios with these cars yet. Hopefully, the overall experience will be okay. But for me, the biggest deal breaker here is, of course, the receiver, which is a FHSS protocol, not the DSMR protocol from Spectrum, which basically means that you can't bind any other type of radio to it. So that's a brief sort of rant on the radio. I did a much more detailed one on the Typhon unboxing. So that is the car there. I'll give you the old spin around as I generally do with these unboxings. You will notice that the back end is a little bit different. There's also vents on the back here, so that's cut out. As we keep spinning around, you'll see the tires actually look really nice, much deeper tread, and look a little bit similar to the V1s. I still have my V1 tires, believe it or not. I'll put them side by side and give you guys a bit of a closer look so you can see the differences between the two, whilst I quickly take this body off. So as we unclip the body looks fantastic. I really like it. I really like this new front end of the body. Very, very nice. Does sort of give it a fresh face, I guess. We've been so used to the Kraton body now for so long. It's maintained its same shape, same sticker, you know, headlight layout and everything. It's nice to have something a little bit different. So well done on ARRMA for doing that. The only thing, I mean, the body itself does feel good. Of course, you got the usual stickers on the inside of the body to stop it from rubbing and having the paint coming off. So that's all pretty standard. You know, you got the don't just bash, blast on the roof there. I don't think these were on the V2, these ones on the roof. I could be wrong. I can't remember now, but yeah, it's good to see that the stickers are all in the right place to prevent, you know, the body from rubbing on the chassis. Very interesting molds on some of these lines. So I'm just looking through it here. The stickers on this actually seem to be stuck on a little bit nicer than my Typhon stickers. Nowhere near as many bubbles on this one. So nice to see that whoever put the stickers on this one actually took the time to get them right and not have them bubble up everywhere. You got Horizon on the side and Spectrum here as well, something that you know, you're just not used to seeing on these Kraton cars. But now, of course, they've gone over to Horizon Hobby. It's no surprise that these stickers are there. So pretty cool. Yeah, it's not quite as thick as, say, your Outcast or your Senton bodies, but I think, you know, hopefully it'll last okay. Most of my Kraton bodies have held up all right until, of course, you start landing on the roof. Oh no, that's bad. That creates a bit of a problem. But of course, now for the main event. This is what we are greeted with once you take the body off. And you can see a great big red bar going from tower to tower. That is our tower to tower chassis brace, something that a lot of people have retrofitted on their vehicles over time. It is now being provided as a standard feature with these cars. I believe the Outcast and Notorious have got them. The Italian V4 has also got it. I'm assuming that the Senton V4 has got it, although I haven't seen any pics of the Senton. So I don't even know if that's changed color or if that's changing, if the tires have changed. The Senton, yeah, that'll be an interesting one. It's kind of like the dark horse of the pile at the moment, because of course there were photos that leaked of the Typhon and the Italian. They kind of got leaked early, unfortunately, but I don't think anybody's seen what the Kraton looks like ahead of time. So yeah, nice to get my hands on one of these and seeing that tower to tower brace up close. I do believe that it is possible to take it off, because the picture on the box kind of shows it that it's like hinged, so you can tilt it up. So I think that's one thing that I'll need to investigate and just see how it actually pops out of here. I'm trying to see which way would be the easiest. I think from the rear maybe. Oh, but then the body posts are in the way. I got to investigate this and just work out exactly how to take this chassis brace off. What's the easiest way to kind of get it out of here? Because if you need to change out diff oils and things like that, although we now have a quick release cover for the diff, so that you can actually take the diff out real nice and easy, it's just now with the chassis brace in the way, that's an extra thing you got to remove. But I mean, that's a very easy compromise to make, considering that's going to stiffen the chassis. So I think ARRMA, instead of upping the 3mm chassis to say 4 or 5mm or whatever, or changing the grade of the aluminium, they've decided to include a chassis brace, which I think is a positive move. I'm hoping that it holds up. I don't see this kind of creating too many problems for people. So we'll see how it goes in the long run. Everything else on the car is as per V4 spec. So we have the never pop out screws on these ball ends so that you don't pop them out. We now have, what's the other thing that they changed on this? We have the EC5 connectors. We've got the sliding motor mount on here as well, which is a huge step forward for ARRMA I think that is a significant improvement. There's no doubt. I very much doubt that there'll be anybody out there that would complain about that. I think that is going to be a very welcoming change. Just being able to slide the motor completely out without having to remove the entire center section is a huge positive, especially on something like the Kraton, which, you know, normally you'd have to remove the cage and then take the whole thing. It's a bit of a mess. So doing it this way, you know, big props for ARRMA for doing that. Now, wheels and tires. Whilst I'm looking at these, the wheel itself looks very similar to the current wheel on the Kraton, except, or like on the V3, but they've, like the forks have kind of like tapered in. So they've kind of changed the wheel a little bit, but still maintaining a very similar look. The tires feel fantastic, can I say. I'm really happy with these tires. I just hope that they stick to the rims the way they should, because I know that some people sometimes have the tires come off the rim. So that is going to be something that will hopefully hold out during my testing. I'm very curious to see that in the long run. But yeah, really like the feel of the tires, love the wheels, love the chassis braces, the sliding motor mount, the never pop out ball ends, the never loose servo saver is another one. So they've changed out the servo saver so it doesn't come loose, which is a thing that I think some people have complained about in the past. I never saw that as being a prominent issue, like a very significant issue. I've never had that problem myself, but I have seen other people having that problem, and you know, it doesn't seem to be as common as I thought it would be, or anything that would warrant the change. But good on ARRMA for doing that. You know, that's a nice little improvement for those of you out there who perhaps have had issues in the past. Now you can either upgrade your servo saver to something like this, or when you buy the car, you know that it's not going to come loose. So I think that's a really good thing. And then, of course, you got the little O-rings around the pivot bowl retainers to stop them from backing out, which is, I know, a problem that some people have had. I think even I've experienced it once or twice. So not usually a big deal. I haven't lost any of mine, but it's nice to know that ARRMA have now made that change to prevent them from coming out. I don't think it's going to stop it entirely, but it's definitely going to prevent it and minimize the issues that a lot of people have had in the past. One thing that I wish they had changed with all of this and the new body and everything would have been the spoiler. I don't think the spoiler has changed. It would be nice to see something different because I think it's still rocking the V1 spoiler. So yeah, that's probably the only thing that would have really been like the cherry on top for this particular edition of the car. And that's still got the same, not that the spoilers, like there's nothing wrong with it, I just would have liked to have seen a change to complement the new body as well and the new tyres. That's really all it is. Of course, you got the extra oversized front bumper that this came in on the V3, so it was introduced in the V3 platform, as well as a tiny little rear bumper, although my rear bumper broke off pretty easily. So I don't think my V3 Kraton has the rear bumper anymore. Now the wing mount is the same, and an interesting thing about the wing mount, they seem to have thickened it in the V4 Typhon, so that's got a really beefy wing mount. It's like got this extra meat on there, but I don't think they've done that on the Kraton. So I'll be curious to see if they've done that on any of the other cars like the Outcast and the Italian, but they certainly haven't done it on the Kraton as far as I could see. It looks still the same as the HD wing mount that was on the V3s. So I think that's pretty much everything that I need to talk about here. We've still got the BLX 185 ESC combo, so it's a 2050 kV 4074 brushless motor. We still have the same steering servo, which I've talked about before. I've never had any problems. I don't see a reason to change it out. Just set your dual rates. I'll have links in the video description for you to check out, so you can go and see how that's done to prevent your servos from burning out and so forth. Of course, we have now a little antenna sticking out here out of the receiver box because we're using a different radio, but aside from that, that's really the only other sort of change that you'll see inside the chassis once you take the body off. So I think I've pretty much covered everything that I need to cover with this one. Hopefully I haven't missed anything. Again, I will have links in the video description to the ARRMA website for this car. There'll be links in there to previous videos, the ARRMA interview, in case you're interested. I'll have links in there for that as well. And of course, my social media pages. That is it from me. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will speak to you all next time.